Hi everyone. Welcome to Ultimate Awesomeness podcast. Here today is just gonna be me. So yeah, it's gonna be just me here. I got a lot of news to go through, so today's gonna be a whole bunch of comic book news. I'm gonna be discussing the Solo movie, and I'm gonna be talking about comic books that came out on the week of May 23rd and May 30th. I'll do June 6th and June 13th on the next podcast. So I guess you guys can look forward to what comic books I've read during those 2 weeks. So yeah, let's go start with the comic book news. The first comic book news I'm be talking about is the sequel to Wonder Woman news. There's been a couple of details going so far, and I did say in the last podcast that was set in the 1980s, and it seemed like they're choosing 1984. They did show the costume for Wonder Woman, and I noticed that her costume is more of a sleekish, casual kind of look. I think they're trying to go for the, I guess, 80s style, and it looks the same as the first Wonder Woman's costume, but it looks less detailed as the first one, and I'm kind of a bit disappointed because I liked the detail that they had in the first one, and this one looks like more of a casual look, and the skirt looks more slimmer. I don't know why they're going in that direction, but I guess it's the 80s style kind of thing, so I guess they wanted to go look more like an 80s type style for the costume. They also have a picture of Cheetah, her before she was Cheetah, Barbara Minerva, and she is an archaeologist, which is interesting. I guess they are gonna do her origin stories exactly like the comic books, so that's pretty good. I liking that. I just want to see how Kristen Wiig will look like when she is Cheetah. I can't wait to see that. I also found out that Steve Trevor is in the movie as well, and that seems kind of interesting. There's no details of why he's in the movie, but I don't know. I'm curious to see what that is, and it's kind of weird because I remember in Justice League she did mention about Steve Trevor being dead. So I don't know. It's like, does he die twice now, or I don't know what's gonna happen. To be honest, we'll see what this movie may hold in the future. I really don't know, but I'm kind of glad Steve Trevor is back. I'm hoping he is actually back. I don't know if it's gonna be an illusion or something, but it's interesting to see because I didn't like that Steve Trevor died in the first one. I was hoping for him to stay alive, and I wanted to see something. I want to see the relationship develop, so maybe would be the chance for me to see that. So I'm kind of happy for that. Okay, and the next news I'm going to be talking about is the U.S. government has approved Disney buying Fox, and they also have approved AT&T buying Time Warner. Now Disney can officially buy Fox, and AT&T can buy Time Warner. I'm gonna be kind of positive about this. I know some people haven't been. I don't know. They haven't been that much positive about this, but I think it's pretty much okay for this to happen. To be honest, because Fox wasn't normally a good business. I really don't like the way Fox handles things, especially with their movies and the TV shows. They cancel them very quickly, and the movies were never that great. Besides, from maybe Fox is just not a great company. That's all I have to say. And I'm glad that Disney will have the chance to take over them, because that'll be open to more opportunities to have these movies, these franchises from the movie side and the TV side to actually grow, and maybe things will be handling better when Disney takes over Fox. To be honest with you guys, I don't know where you guys get this from, but these things are not a monopoly. I don't know where you guys get this from. I think you guys confused. Don't even know what the definition of monopoly is. I know some people have gotten confused about that. Monopoly is when there's no competition whatsoever, when everything has been brought. It's basically like the Monopoly game. If you guys don't pay attention to the rules of the Monopoly game, then I don't know where you guys getting this information from. Be a bit more informative when these things happen. But yeah, it's not a monopoly. It's just companies buying big companies buying other big companies. That's all that's happening. That's the reason why the government approved these, because these are not monopolies. I really don't know where people get this from. They need to be more. You people need to be more informed about that. Anyway, I don't know how I feel about the AT&T buying WB, because I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Because this is more of a phone company buying, a media conglomerate company. There isn't that much they have in common with these two companies, and I don't know what's gonna go on. I have more knowledge on what's gonna happen with Disney and Fox, because it's much more easier. Disney and Fox are both media conglomerates, and it's just Disney taking over the Fox properties, and they're gonna take the channel, and there's gonna be different. I guess I'm not sure, but everybody's gonna be let go from Fox, pretty much, and Disney's gonna have a full takeover. But I'm not so sure about AT&T buying WB or Time Warner, because I don't think everyone's gonna lose their jobs, because there is nothing in common that AT&T and Time Warner actually has. So AT&T could actually take over, probably not with much people losing their jobs or whatever. I don't think everyone's gonna lose their jobs. I think things are still gonna be planned, maybe. I think, because I'm pretty sure everything that DC has planned for WB, everything that WB has planned with DC properties, I think are gonna stay the same. Like CW and all that other stuff is probably gonna stay the same. I really don't know the full details of that, but it looks like it's gonna be okay, and I think this will be a great thing, to be honest. I think it's something these companies buying each other has something to look forward to, especially with Disney and Fox, because now we have the X-Men and Fantastic Four universe back to Marvel, and maybe it could be put into the MCU and get rid of the X-Men universe, because it has so many plot holes, and it's a mess. And I don't necessarily like the X-Men, what Fox had did with X-Men. I really don't a positive heart to that. I think it's not very well done. I'm not a big fan of Legion or The Gifted on TV properties, and I guess I wouldn't care about those properties they get, and they end up getting rid of those, and Marvel decides to just completely reboot the X-Men into the MCU. The only thing I really care about is Deadpool, and I think Deadpool could find his. I think Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool can find his way to MCU. I think they can do something about that. I just hope that's the only property they actually keep. Everything else could just go away. I really don't care about it. I really don't know what's gonna happen when. I know Aliens and Predator are published by Dark Horse, and I don't know if they could actually make the move, Alien and Predator, to Marvel. That would be interesting to see what happens with that. And it's the second time that Dark Horse had to give up their license to Marvel with the Star Wars. So it's just interesting how this will take place maybe in the future. So the next news I want to talk about is Sony has casted Jared Leto as Morbius for the Morbius film. I don't know how I feel about this, because I really didn't like Jared Leto as a Joker that much. It was very minor, so it's kind of hard to judge. it wasn't all that great, to be honest, with what I saw from there in Suicide Squad. I think I'm not sure if he'll do an okay job. I have to wait and see how he would do. I'm interested to see what this movie will be like. Because I do like Morbius a lot in the comic books. He's one of my favorite characters. I wanted to see what Sony would do with him. I'm hoping these Sony movies are actually good, to be honest, because I would like to eventually see them in the MCU, and it'll be kind of disappointing that once again it'll be disappointing these movies are not successful and they end up rebooting the whole thing again, and this is like, oh, another reboot. I just don't know how these movies are gonna go. And there's also another movie that Sony has also developing, which is Silk. One of the Spider female characters are gonna have their own film. I think this is pretty interesting that Silk's gonna have her own movie, because I actually do like the character in the comic books. She's pretty interesting, and I wasn't aware that Silk was in Spider-Man: Homecoming, and she was also in Avengers: Infinity War. I didn't know that. Oh, this actress, Tiffany Espin, has been in these two movies. I didn't really notice her, and I might have to watch the movies again to actually see where she was in these movies. So yeah, this is pretty interesting, I think, because that means that this movie can be somewhat connected to the actual MCU, and this is interesting, I think, to see that this character is probably different from Venom and Morbius or Silver and Black, because this character is already in the MCU and she's gonna have her own movie for Sony. So she might be interconnected with that, with just like Spider-Man is. So this is kind of interesting to see, the interesting thought of this. I like to see what this will develop to. I just think this will be an interesting movie. I really like Silk as a character, and I like to see what they will do with this movie. Let's go to the next one. There's nothing else much to say. The next thing I'll be talking about is apparently what the comic book Weapon X is getting a new lineup. It's gonna have a new lineup apparently. It's gonna have Sabretooth, Domino, and Lady Deathstrike from the previous team. And you're also gonna have Mystique and Omega Red. So that's pretty interesting. I'm really not so sure about this. I really haven't been liking this particular series, so I don't know how this will do. Because the thing that really turned off the interest for me on this series was that Greg Pak has all these Weapon X characters, and these are characters that are known for killing, and they were into these storylines where they couldn't kill, and it was just getting really annoying. I just didn't like the book, and I had to drop it because it wasn't really, they weren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is actually killing criminals, and it wasn't as gory as you would think. It's just the characters act really out of character, and there's a fight between Sabretooth and Wolverine because they don't agree on the same terms, and it just gets a little annoying, and it's just, it was not a good series, and I just didn't like it. And I don't know if this new team direction will actually make the book better. Apparently Old Man Logan and Warpath are leaving the group. There's no reason why yet. You're just gonna have to wait and see. It's gonna debut August 15 with Weapon X number 22. The team looks interesting, but I'm not sure the book is going to be pretty good with this, to be honest, because I haven't been liking Weapon X. It wasn't a really good series, and I kind of dropped it a while ago. So yeah, I really don't know how to feel about this. Next up, I'm gonna be discussing is okay. The next book I want to talk about is DC Heroes in Crisis. It's a new event that's gonna happen around September. It's by Tom King. It's gonna be about, let's see, the synopsis here says, okay, this is the details. There's a new kind of crisis facing the heroes of the DC universe, ripped from the real world headlines by CIA operative turned comic book comic books writer Tom King. How does a superhero handle PTSD? Welcome to the sanctuary, an ultra secret hospital for superheroes who's been traumatized by crime fighting and classic combat. But reads the description. But something goes incredibly wrong when many patients wind up dead. With two well-known operators as the prime suspect, Harley Quinn and Booster Gold, it's up to the DC trinity of Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman to escape. But can they get the job done in the face of overwhelming opposition? I think this is pretty interesting. I really like that Harley Quinn is part of this event, and I think she's perfect for this because she is a psychologist and she'll know how to deal with superheroes in this type of crisis when they're having PTSD and not feeling well because of being heroes, being everyday superheroes and the things that you go through, and it's just kind of disheartening. And it's interesting to see this perspective. And I don't think we actually seen much of it. We probably have, but there isn't too much about that. And I know that this is be interesting because Tom King was a CIA operative, and maybe he's dealt with military people have gone through PTSD, and it's just interesting to see how that can compare with superheroes going through these similar things, and I would like to see more of that. And I'm not sure because I am kind of positive about this, but there's also some negative things about this because I really don't like Tom King writing Batman currently. It's just he writes characters out of character. It's just not cutting it for me, and I don't know if he's gonna do well in this because he struggles with writing characters, and I think he needs to do a little bit more research with DC characters and get to know their characters more instead of just making it all flashy and repetitive dialogue. And it's just he's just not going on who these characters are. He's depending too much on his poetic writing than the actual characters in the book, and it's kind of disappointing for me. So I'm just hoping that he does well in this book, and I think he can do the job, hopefully. Do the job well done, hopefully. And I don't know how I'm going to feel about Booster Gold because Booster Gold was written really badly out of character when he was in Batman. It was just really terrible how he just saves Bruce Wayne's parents, and it's just it doesn't make any sense because in Superman he was talking about the consequences of changing time. It's just, and to be stupid for him to even think of, okay, let me just make more consequences of ripping the timeline just for a gift for Batman. It just this didn't work. It was just really bad, and I just don't know how I'm gonna feel about this. That now Booster Goes to be in this event too, so I'm hoping for it to be good. I don't know if it will be. There's a lot of interesting things, and they also have Clayman as an artist. I love his art. I think the book will be done artistically good, maybe. And I don't know. I just hope that this book actually is good because it's an interesting concept. And I'd like to see what they would do with it. Okay, now the next news I want to talk about is Lucifer being picked up by Netflix. So yeah, I'm really excited. Netflix picked up Lucifer. I'm really excited when I saw this news, and I'm happy for it. I'm interested in what's gonna happen, how they're gonna do. I did hear they will do. I think. Wait, I actually read they actually do 10 episodes. I did remember reading that, and they said that they're gonna be released all at once. I do remember those details. That seems to be interesting. I mean, I really like it. Hoping to see what happens on that after that cliffhanger they had in that season, and I'm really excited for it. And this is gonna be fun, and I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, I really like what was going on there, and I'm hoping to see the continuation. I really want to see Azrael, that character that was in those 2 episodes that they aired in May, and I like to see that story develop a little bit more. I'm really excited for this, and that means that there'll be less fillers, which I will like to see less fillers, because the 3rd season was kind of the weakest season because it had too many fillers, and it was focusing way too much on the romantic thing, on the romance, and I did like what they did with the romance. I did like what it led up to this season, and I'm hoping that they'll do a little bit less on that and focus more on the supernatural stuff. And I don't know how the budget will align with this, but I'm interested to see where it will go and what they will take with this. So hopefully we'll see what happens now that Netflix has Lucifer, and see what they will do with it. So yeah, the next thing I want to talk about is Invincible. The animated series is coming to Amazon, which is interesting. Never actually read Invincible. I still have to check it out. I know it ended, so I might have to check it out in the next year or so. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. It's gonna be a 1-hour format, which is interesting. That means more stories will actually be developed. It won't be 20 minutes, which is, it's not bad to have 20 minutes, but you can't really put much in that. And I like that this will actually be almost like an hour. So it'll be like a TV series, but animated, which is pretty interesting. I like to see that as it develops. It said Robert Kirkman, Corey Walker, and Ryan Otley would actually be part of this, which is interesting. I do like that original creators of the series will be part of this. That means they will actually do whatever they want, take it to heart, and maybe it'll be very close to the comic book the comic books. And you never know if this will be a different adaptation, so who knows. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I hope things will go great for this animated TV series. I also want to talk about a few comic books that are coming out. There's Journey to the Mystery with the original Nick Fury. It's going to be a one-shot called Birth of Kuroka, which is pretty interesting. I would like to see what happens here. It's about the origin story of the Living Island. And it's gonna be the Halloween Commandos, and it seems like a pretty interesting stuff. I mean, it's gonna be written by Dennis Hopeless, and the artist is Jabri Morset fan. So yeah, this is an interesting thing, and I like to see what they will take with this. I like to, because Kuroka never had actual origin story. I'm not sure I'm saying the name right, so you can correct me if you want to. But yeah, it's just, I never actually seen the origin story of that Living Island, and it's interesting to actually see that here. Hopefully this will actually be a good series, a good one shot. So I'll see what happens with this. It seems like a very interesting story. And the next one is Secret Agent Deadpool, a Comixology exclusive from Marvel. It's gonna be about Deadpool being a American super spy on a mission to stop a deadly terrorist agency called Gorgon, which it's gonna be he's gonna fight Gorgon. I think I don't think it's gonna be a I think that's what the whole story is about, and I think it'll be a fun mini series. I think it's only gonna be it's gonna be 6 issues bi-weekly series by Chris Hastings, drawn by Sylvia Espin, and Matt Yaki doing the colors, and covered by David Yama. And I think this will be interesting. It's gonna be fun, I think. I do like Chris Hastings from Gwenpool. He had a good run on that, and I'm really looking forward to this, so it might be fun. The next one I'm gonna be talking about is there's gonna be 2 new crossovers with Batman and the Max, which is pretty interesting. And there's also gonna be Transformers with Star Trek, which is another interesting one. And so they both gonna have a crossover. There's gonna be a Batman and the Max one, which is pretty interesting. It's gonna be 5 issues. It's gonna be written by Sam Keefe. So it's gonna be really fun. He will write it and draw it. So I'll see how this is. I never actually read Max. I know what Max is. I know I did see a little bit of the cartoon when I was younger. I don't remember much detail of it, but I really am looking to see what this is all about and see how fun it will be. I'll see how this works out. I think I'm looking forward to this. And it seems like they're gonna merge the two. This will be Max in Gotham. He's gonna be Arkham's newest patient, so it's interesting to see what's gonna happen with that. I'd definitely like to see the interactions that the Max and the Batman is gonna have. Now over to Transformers and Star Trek. It looks like more of a cartoonish kind of style. It looks like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, which is interesting, I guess. They want to keep it 80s style. And I like to see what goes on in here. They're gonna have the 1973 Star Trek animated series and the original 1984 Transformers show. I really don't know much. I didn't realize that there is a Star Trek animated series. I'm not really that familiar with it. I never actually saw it, so I forgot that it kind of existed. So I've seen it before. I've seen some pictures of it and maybe some little video clips, but I really don't know much about it. It's interesting that they're gonna go in that direction. They want to cross over with the cartoons, so we'll see what happens with that. And what's odd is that they have Windblade in there, which she's in the new Transformer cartoons, not the old ones, which is kind of weird that she's there. So whatever, I guess they just throw her in there for some reason. But I think this would be kind of fun. It would be more like probably like Scooby-Doo Team Up, where it's more of a comedy focus. So I'll see how fun this will be. This will be interesting. Okay, next I'm gonna be talking about is these comic books that are getting canceled. Cyborg Sally has gotten canceled, and I'm kind of really disappointed about that. I really was liking the last issue I read, like Cyborg number 23. Marvel was actually doing a pretty good job, and it's kind of sad they only got to write like 3 issues, and that's not fun for me. I mean, I was having a lot of fun with these issues, and I was hoping that I could see more and see the story develop, and it just sucks that I got left on a cliffhanger, and I was looking forward to it. I was really happy to see Cyborg have a good writer finally, because the last good writer they had was, was David Walker, and after that, it just went to crap, and it's kind of disappointing that Cyborg finds a good writer after 20-something issues, and it doesn't even, they don't even finish the storyline, which is kind of disappointing. I was looking really forward to it. It was really about Cyborg fighting ninjas, robotic ninjas and samurais or something like that. And it was like having like some Transformer thing, like they would be in a mech suit, and it was pretty interesting. I was liking how they went with it, and I was hoping to see more about it. So it's kind of disappointing. We won't see too much. We won't see that at all. So it's kind of disappointing. And the next other two series that's gonna end is X-Men Blue and X-Men Gold. I really didn't like X-Men Blue. It was okay. I don't know, but it seems like Colin Bunn did not know these characters really well, and the stories were not really developing well. They just always been rushed, and just did not like this particular series. I dropped it. It wasn't really good for me. I was more into X-Men Gold. I really did like X-Men Gold a lot with Mark Guggenheim, and he did bring a lot of characters from the new X-Men team. He did develop characters that you don't normally see all the time, like the younger characters, and I like seeing more of the younger X-Men characters. You don't see much of them, so it's always a great opportunity to actually see these characters being developed and being the plot lines and talking and interacting, fighting. It's just fun to actually see those characters live, and it was fun with that. There's one thing I am kind of disappointed about, is that, spoiler alert, that I found out, I haven't read the issue yet, that Colossus and Kitty doesn't get married. So it's kind of disappointing. They built all this hype. Once again, it feels like Jane Thor from Jane Foster. They build up all this hype for it not to even happen. It's like, ugh, disappointing. And I find out that Rogue and Gambit is actually be the ones getting married. So that's interesting. I do like that they're gonna get married. That's what I wanted after reading Kelly Thompson's series, and that was pretty fun. I like to see more of them, and I'm glad that they're gonna have their own series called Mr. and Mrs. X with Kelly Thompson, and that's gonna be great. I'm really looking forward to reading that. But I'm kind of sad that X-Men Gold is gonna end, and I'm thinking maybe the sales weren't going well. Probably that's why Colossus and Kitty Pryde are not getting married, because probably it didn't do well in sales. It didn't really build up in terms of sales, and maybe it's like, maybe no one actually cares about this wedding, so does not let these characters get married. I don't know. Maybe that's what it was, and you can actually see that these two series are ending. So we'll see what happens with these books and see how they end. I wonder if the X-Men, I know they have extermination, and I wonder what's gonna happen with that. Now that maybe they'll stay in the future, in the present time, or go back in the past. So who knows what will happen. So yeah, X-Men Gold and Blue number 36 are both ending. So we'll see what happens with those titles. Hopefully they'll be good. And another series that's ending, I noticed in the Marvel solicits, is Star Wars Poe Dameron number 31. That's gonna be the final issue of the series. So yeah, the Poe Dameron is actually gonna end, and that's kind of disappointing. I really like this series. It's kind of sad that this series is canceled. We're gonna see Black Squadron's last mission. We'll see what happens. They said it's gonna be in this final chapter of whole Dameron series. We'll see what may be Black Squadron's last mission is a desperate attempt to find the allies for General Leia Organa decimated the resistance. Has been one heck of a ride, but all these stories must come to an end. So yeah, I actually had a lot of fun with the series. Poe Dameron was a great character. And it's very, I like his comedic personality. He's very funny and he's a very fun-loving character. He gets real cocky, but he's very charming kind of a guy. And I did like a lot of the characters in this book, and it was really nice to see the Black Squadron actually develop into these comic books, because you really don't see them that often. You didn't really get that much development from them in the movies, especially in the second one. I don't think the Black Squadron was really there in that scene. When it was in that movie that much, there was only like in the first 10 minutes that was it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing this, how it would end. So yeah, I'm kind of sad about it, but we'll see what happens. And now I want to talk about apparently this will be Marvel's Warped, which is this will be part of the Infinity event that's been happening lately with Marvel, which I haven't been liking, but I'm interested to see what this will be. Apparently, all these heroes will be fused together, and this will be a whole bunch of one-shots. They're gonna have Iron Man and Thor matchup as Iron Hammer, Captain America, Doctor Strange as Soldier Supreme. So I saw they also have Spider-Man and Moon Knight, and then they have Scarlet Witch with X-23. They have Black Panther with Ghost Rider, and the designs look pretty cool. I like what the designs they came up with. They're very interesting. I like to see how it would go. I don't know if it's gonna be good books. I hope that they would be, but I haven't been really liking the Infinity event. I don't know how would I feel about this. So they said so far they only have the Iron Hammer that's written by Al Ewing, art by Ramos Vasanas, and cover by Roberto Ramos. And they have Soldier Supreme, which is written by Jerry Duggan, art by Adam Cooper, and the covers by Roberto Ramos, and that one as well. I don't know what the other one's gonna be, but I'll see what happens. I really do think this is interesting. It's more of a callback to the Amalgam universe, with Marvel and DC. So it's interesting what they will do with here. I'm looking forward to this. I want to see how it'll be. So yeah, the next one I want to talk about is actually DC is launching 100-page Walmart exclusives on comic books to Walmart. I thought this is kind of interesting. They're gonna have a Batman, Superman, and Teen Titans and Justice League one, which is pretty interesting. I mean, I really like what this is gonna be. I think could work really well. They're gonna have mostly the stories will be featuring Jimmy Palmiotti, Amanda Conner, Dan Jurgens, Tim Seeley, and Bendis is gonna be on this as well. I know he's gonna be doing Batman, and they also gonna feature a whole bunch of issue number ones and from other series. This is pretty interesting. I think it's gonna bring more people to reading comic books, and I'm hoping that I could actually get these comic books in my local Walmart. It's funny to even say that. I never thought there actually can be comic books sold in Walmart. I'm interested how this will be, and I really want to see Bendis as writing Batman, because I really like what he's been doing with Man of Steel. It's been pretty fun. I really been liking that series. I'm hoping to see more of this. It seems like it'll be fun, and maybe it will bring a success for DC and Walmart. So who knows? Now I want to talk about the TV news that's been going on lately. With apparently Kelsey Grammer is going to be in talks to be the chief in Doom Patrol, which is pretty interesting. I really think that he can play the role really well since he was Beast in X-Men, and he did play a very good role in X-Men 3. Even though X-Men 3 was terrible, he was pretty decent in that movie, and I would like to see him play as the chief. This would be interesting, and I think he pulled it off really well. And it's kind of like a calling to X-Men with Professor X. You know, it's pretty interesting to see that happen. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I've been reading about the series regulars for CW shows. I read that Brainiac is to be a regular. Brainiac 5 is to be a regular for Supergirl. Elongated Man is to be a regular for The Flash, and Cecile's to be a regular for Flash. There's also gonna be Mon-El's leaving the show. There's also, apparently Nora Allen is also gonna be a series regular. Kid Flash is leaving, and it seems like, Wynn is also gonna be only in a recurring character. He's only being in a few episodes of Supergirl. He's not gonna be a series regular anymore. And how I feel about all that is, I guess it's interesting. I really like to see if Brainiac 5 is gonna have a relationship with Supergirl, and I don't know if that's gonna develop into something, because they were in a relationship in the comic books. I like to see where that would go. It's interesting to see that Nora Allen is now gonna be a series regular, and Kid Flash is leaving, so I guess they're gonna see a different speedster, and we'll see how she is and as a character, and see if she has any relations. See if there's any comparisons to Dawn Allen from the comic books, or see if there's any comparison even to Nora Allen in the comic books in that Justice League storyline. So who knows? They might even borrow some elements from that. So it's pretty interesting. I'm kind of disappointed that the actor who's played Kid Flash is leaving. I want to see more of him, and I know he's going to be in a few episodes, but I want to see more than just a few episodes, because he was pretty great, and it's kind of disappointing that he won't be around. And I was looking forward to see him in Legends of Tomorrow. I was really enjoying him in there. But I'm also glad that Elongated Man and Cecile are going to be in The Flash as, series regulars. They're pretty fun characters, and I like to see Cecile develop her powers a little bit more. So yeah, I guess that'll be fun. And I really like the comedic persona of Elongated Man. He's very funny, and I'm glad I'm gonna be able to see more of that. And now we got 2 more news to go. We have Black Widow. Is the movie's actually moving forward, and they're seeking female directors, which is interesting. I really like to see how they would do with that. It seems like I'm looking forward to this movie being made. I really want to see. I've been wanting to see a Black Widow solo movie for years, and to finally see that there is being made is kind of heartwarming. Is something to look forward to, and I'm excited. I really want to see a solo Black Widow movie. I was really looking forward to this, and hopefully we get to see her origin story and have fun with her in there. It'll be fun. I really want to see Scarlett Johansson, see how she would do in a solo Black Widow movie. I really like her as Black Widow, and I'm hoping to look more into that in the future. And now the next one is to be Paramount is developing a new Ninja Turtles film. and it's gonna have a new writer, which is Andrew Dodge. I hope that they don't. There's no news that this is gonna be. If this could be a sequel or the same that's gonna follow the same continuity of the other previous two films, or this would be a new project. But I'm hoping. I'm hoping to see. I'm hoping for maybe. I wouldn't mind if it's a reboot or a new. I mean, just a new movie in the same continuity as the previous one. It's just I hope it's better than the second one. I did like the first one, and yeah, the new Ninja Turtles movie. And the second one was kind of disappointing. It's just the story wasn't all that great. They did a terrible Krang, and I didn't mind Bebop and Rocksteady. It's just it wasn't a good movie. The story was really rushed. It was pretty bad. So I'm hoping for the third one, the third Ninja Turtles movie will actually be good. We'll see what happens with that. And lastly, I want to talk about the Predator movie, the trailer I just saw. It looks pretty interesting. I like that this is gonna be focusing on the predators coming to Earth, and we'll see what happens with that. And there's some interesting actors in there like Olivia Munn, and Michael Key is gonna be in there apparently too, which is also interesting. I'm really not that familiar with the other actors. I did read who they were, but I really don't know too much about them. It looks like a fun movie. I think it's gonna be pretty good. Maybe I'm really looking forward to see how this movie will do. And there was like a lot of action, and I noticed there's like a new type of predator, which is like more of a reddish predator, and that looks pretty interesting. I really like to see what they will do with that. I don't know. This movie looks fun, and I did like Shane Black's Iron Man 3. I like to see what he would do with this. You never know if he actually might make a good movie. So it might be actually kind of fun. Okay, so let's see what other news. I did actually also want to talk about the Walking Dead game that's coming out in November. I'm really looking forward to that. It seems like it's going to be a pretty fun game. I saw the trailer, and it's going to be like a it's more, I don't know, it's more like a first person game. I mean, it's the filmmakers of, what the game is it? It's on the same makers of Payday. That's where I got it from. Okay, Payday. Which those games are pretty fun. I really have fun with those games. I do like those kind of games. I'm interested what they will do with Walking Dead. It looks like a very fun game. I'm really looking forward to this. The trailer was exciting to see at E3. I really did like it. I'm hoping this will be actually a fun game. It looks kind of fun. And I also saw the Spider-Man game. That looked pretty fun. There was some interesting fighting scenes with the Sinister Six. That looked pretty cool. I'm hoping this will be actually a good game. It looks really fun. It's gonna be interesting, I think. We did see some interesting villains like Shocker, and let's see who else. We did see some interesting villains, like there was Shocker. Of course, we saw Negative Man, which is interesting. And we saw Rhino, Scorpion. The game looks pretty fun. I really like the fighting. It looks like Arkham Knight kind of fighting style. And this looks pretty fun. I really want to see what this will be. And they also have Vulture too. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I really like the design, especially Shocker's. He looks pretty cool. So yeah, I really like what's going on here. I'm wondering who that character will be when Spider-Man's like, "Oh, it's you" at the end. So it's like I'm wondering who that is. It looks pretty cool. I really like this. I'm looking forward to this and see how this game will be. There's 2 new comic books that came from cancellation that are coming back. And one of them is Sally's Iceman. Ugh, I really did not like that Iceman series by Cena Grace. It's gonna be written by him again. And it's like, so yeah, we'll see gay Iceman. I'm really not into Iceman being gay. That's just not me. I'm gay myself, so it's not any homophobia or anything like that. It's just, to me, the Iceman, I always saw him as a straight character, and he's still related to me, so he didn't need to be gay in order to relate to me. I still was able to relate to him as a character. I liked his personality a lot, and I don't think him being gay adds anything to it. And to be the thing is, with his previous series, it was just, I mean, with Iceman written by Cena Grace, all he did was make the character about being, I mean, all he could talk about was about him being gay, and that's not a good thing. Characters shouldn't be defined by their sexuality. They should be talking about more about their personalities as who they are as a person. And if all you could talk about is the character being gay, is when you're failing. It just doesn't. That's not how it's supposed to be. It's about the character's life, how he interacts with people, and who he is, and as a mutant. Not. I don't mind either you show your sexuality, but don't make it the main focus. Don't insert Dakin in there because he's gay too. Just don't make that the main focus. It doesn't make any sense. Why does he have to fight a gay archvillain too? I know Dakin's bisexual, but seriously, let's not do that. It just doesn't make any sense. But I'll digress about that book. And I'm really looking forward to this series to come back. Anyway, the next one is Unstoppable Wasp. That series is coming back, and I'm glad that series is coming back. I'm more excited for that one than Iceman, because Iceman, it's not that fun, but Unstoppable Wasp was really a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It was something really fun, and it was something it's something I'm really looking forward to. And they're also gonna bring the new writer to. Not new writer. They're also gonna bring back the writer they previously had, Jeremy Whitley, which is pretty fun. I'm really excited that he's returning to the series. And they're also gonna have a new artist, which is Gurihi, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry if I butchered it. So Guru, I guess that's how you say it. I'm not sure, but they're gonna have the girl, Ages of Girl, are back in this series, which is pretty fun. I like to see what they'll do with those girls. They were pretty fun characters, and I like to see what they do with Agent of Girl, And maybe you should have like a male character in the team too. Who knows? That would be pretty fun. Just because the team is called Girls, you can't have a male character in there. And it would be interesting if they have a transgender character who was a male that is a female. A transgender character part of the team. I would like to see that. That would be fun and interesting. They should do something like that. That'd be a very cool, interesting concept. But whatever with that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this series. I'm glad this actually came back. It was really good. And I was kind of disappointed when it was canceled. And I'm glad that it's back and get to read more stories. And Nadia is such a great character. I like to see more of her. So I'm happy that series actually came back. Okay, so that's about it with the news. I know there's a lot of news. Sorry about that. I'll make sure I'll do the podcast more often and try to get this thing up to date. That was a lot of stuff to talk about. And now I'm going to be talking about the Solo movie and what I did think of it. So I'm going to be talking about it right now. I actually enjoyed this movie a lot. It was really fun. There was a lot of great things on it. I think I really enjoyed this movie. It was really fun to see about Solo, his character, what was his past all about, and how he became the character from that point to the point that he was in the original trilogy. It was a very cool build up to his character of how he became the person that we all know. And that was pretty interesting to see that happen in this movie. And it was fun. I really enjoyed it. There were some fun moments with Chewbacca. There was fun moments with Lando. I really did like the moments with Lando and L3. They had very fun interactions. I didn't see any romantic thing that people are talking about. I don't know. I just didn't see it. I just don't see it as the romance that everyone else has probably seen. I don't particularly see it. I just see it as two friends who actually care about each other. That's about it. And I did like the raw emotion that Lando, the actor Donald Glover, played as Lando. How the emotion he pulled out as feeling grief for L3 dying. I did like seeing that, and it was pretty interesting. That kind of shows that he cared about the character. I mean, the droid, and the droid was like a good friend of his, and they had a good friendship between the two characters. And I did like the relationship with Han Solo and Kira. That she was also a pretty fun character. I did like Kira a lot too, and it was interesting seeing how the dynamic of that relationship develops throughout the whole movie. It was pretty fun. I did not like. There's a few things I did not like, where how Han Solo got his name. I thought it was okay, but it doesn't make much sense to me. Whatever. At least he made an explanation there, and I guess I will just take it as it is. But yeah, you really don't ever get to find out what's his real name, but whatever. I guess it was a tongue-in-cheek moment that doesn't make much sense. But I digress with that. I'll let that go. But overall, it was a fun movie, I think. I also didn't think I would see Darth Maul in the movie. That was pretty interesting. And I'm wondering what that would develop to see what's going to happen in that movie. I really don't know. It seemed pretty interesting to me. I'll see what happened with that. Too bad. I wanted to see more of that. I mean, too bad we didn't get to see enough as it is with Darth Maul, but let's see what happens with that. I know he did die in Star Wars Rebels. I was hoping to see more Darth Maul after I saw what happened in Star Wars Rebels, and I'm glad I did get to see something in Solo. So now we get to connect the points and see where Solo takes place, and honestly does take place before Rebels, but it's interesting to see how that happens. And I like to see more of Darth Maul eventually. He's one of my favorite characters in the Star Wars universe, and I was excited to see him in this movie. Let's see what else I can talk about from this movie. I really did like the friendship that Han Solo and Chewbacca grew up to. I really like how they met. It was pretty interesting to see that the friendship went from fighting each other to actually saving each other, and they actually developed a great friendship. I really like that. It was interesting to see how did Han Solo obtain the Millennium Falcon. That was pretty fun. And it was fun to see Solo meet Lando for the first time. That was pretty fun. It was overall a great movie. I really did enjoy it. I think I'd give this around maybe around 7.5 to 8. Around there. I really don't know an exact number for me, but it was a pretty fun movie. There isn't much that happened. It was interesting, and I did like I think that was And also another interesting thing was the Cloud Riders. I wanted to see more of that. That was pretty interesting. I want to see what that develops to. I noticed that was pretty interesting what they had, the characters that were in that movie. It was pretty interesting concept, and I did like the story that was explained there, but I wanted to see more, so I'm hoping to see more of that. So it was pretty fun. And apparently apparently the Cloud Riders originated from 1977 Star Wars Legends comic, Star Wars 9, The Showdown on Wasteland World, which is pretty interesting. I guess I'll see what that is in more detail. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. I did like what this movie. I did find Kira pretty interesting because she wasn't fully good and she wasn't fully bad. It seemed like she was a conflicting character, and that's pretty interesting to see that. And I would like to see where she goes as a character. I'd like to see her grow a little bit more and see what her motives are with Darth Maul. I really don't know what her motives are. It was kind of unexpected that she portrayed Han Solo. I was really not expecting that, and I was expecting to see something else. Expecting her to, side with Han Solo, but you didn't see that, which is kind of interesting. But overall, was a very fun movie. I did like the characters that were in it. It was pretty fun. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't too complex. It wasn't too much things, but it was still fun. It didn't really add anything that much. It was still a fun movie. The actors did a good job. I did have fun with it a lot. It was interesting to see the female actress from Westworld play her character. It was fun to see Woody Harrelson play his character. So overall, it was a very fun movie. I really very much enjoyed it. I really like what they did in that movie. Okay, so now I'm going to be talking about the comic books I've read during this week. It's going to be a lot. So it's going to be, since it was from 2 weeks, so it's going to be May 23rd and May 30th. So first, I'm going to be talking about the Marvel books I've read during that week. First book I'm going to be talking about is Spider-Man and Deadpool, number 33. This was number 33. I did like this book a lot. It was pretty interesting to see. It's about Peter Parker's parents. They built this robot in the past. It was interesting to see that develop in this book. It was pretty fun. I mean, they enjoy the comedy here and this story that they were showing. It was really funny seeing Deadpool being annoying as heck with all these characters. It was pretty fun. And Master Mold was, I don't know, he was pretty interesting, I guess. It was interesting to know about who this character is and what's his game plan or his goal. It just got really weird, and it was kind of gross seeing Craven merge with the Deadpool bots. That was kind of gross looking. It was a really fun book. I really much enjoyed it. I'm continuing to liking this Spider-Man and Deadpool. I really like it more than the actual Spider-Man series and Deadpool series itself. I've been having more fun with Spider-Man and Deadpool than those particular series. Interesting to see how Peter Parker will react now that he find out that his parents made Master Mold. So, Master Matrix. Sorry about that, Master Matrix. So, yeah, it's a pretty interesting storyline. I like to see how this develops. Next book I'm going to talk about is Dr. Aphra, number 20. It was a pretty interesting book. This issue was okay. It We noticed that Dr. Aphra's been in like some prison planet. So yeah, I want to see what the hell this is all about. It seems kind of interesting. It's not really a prison planet. It's actually a prison ship. Yeah, she's in some type of prison, and we see how she fights other criminals that's stuck in there, and how she's teaming up with people. It's pretty interesting, and I like to see how this goes, how this develops a little bit more, and I'll see where this goes. There really wasn't really much in this issue. It's just her interacting with different people. I really don't know what the story will develop to. It seems kind of interesting. I don't know. It wasn't that bad. And there's also gonna be Sana Staros. It's also gonna be in the next issue. And I'd like to see what happened with Aphra and Sana. I was kind of disappointed I didn't see Sana in Solo, but that's okay. I guess you'll see her in the future in the movies someday, but we'll see what happens with that. Okay, the next book I want to talk about is Star Wars number 48. That was pretty fun. I did like this story a lot. I mean, it was pretty fun to see this character that was pretending to be, the guy impersonating one of the people from the Empire. It was fun seeing that. They watching a play. It was pretty. The comedy was really fun, and we do get to see a sad moment with Lee Carr. It was kind of sad to see that happen. I did read the next issue too. I did enjoy that, so I know what happens. I know that the character ends up dying, and they have a new leader, and he didn't want to work with Princess Leia at first, and then he decided to work with her, and now they had to actually fight off the Empire in a war. And I wonder what would go on with that character. I mean, with the Mon Carla, but we'll see what happens with the war, and I don't know. I'll see if they're have an interesting take on that. But I still had fun with it. It was both of these Star Wars number 48 and 49 were actually pretty fun. I really enjoyed those issues. And I think Gillian is doing a pretty good job on this Star Wars. Next up is X-Men Gold, number 29. Yeah, X-Men Gold number 29. It's also pretty fun. I really did enjoy this particular issue. It was alright. I mean, we got to see the X-Men fight off the Sentinel, the Sentinel character, and the person that he's working with. And I really like the development of Storm being this new Thor. She finally has a hammer, and it was interesting to see she has a new Mjolnir, and that's pretty fun. I did like that, and it was kind of quick on how they did solve this. That was the only disappointing part, that they rushed this particular storyline just for the wedding, but it's whatever. I did have fun with it. It was very enjoyable. At least you get to see have fun interactions with these characters, and that was about it. So yeah, I did really enjoy X-Men Gold number 28 and 29. Those were both fun. The next book I want to talk about is Spider-Gwen number 32. That was also fun. I really did enjoy that issue, and there was a really funny joke in Spider-Gwen. I really did. It was about. Let me just go to it and see if I can find it. This was a really fun book. I really did enjoy it. There were some cool interactions with. It was interesting to see Spider-Gwen interact with. It was interesting to see Spider-Gwen interact with Matt Murdock, and I'm glad they actually did kill him off. But I do want to see more of him in the future. I'm hoping that maybe I'll probably bring him back alive and see the character continue to grow and develop. Maybe put him in the 616 universe and just tear the Matt Murdock from that universe up. It'll be some great interaction to see Earth 65 with Matt Murdock with Earth 616 Matt Murdock. I would like to see those two characters interact. And there's a lot of great storyline potential for that, I think. But this is a pretty interesting story, and I would like to see where this goes now that everyone knows. I mean, Gwen Stacy revealed her identity to the public, and they're actually calling her Spider-Gwen, which is kind of interesting to see how that happens. And it was kind of weird, and I was not expecting that. And the joke that was in Spider-Gwen that I want to talk about, which was pretty funny. It was pretty funny dialogue. I wanted to read it. It's like, okay, look, that's all great, Gwen, but okay, look, that's all great, Gwen. It really, really is, but I think we're all waiting for you to give us the great big old butt. And then that's what Mary Jane says, and then Betty Brant says, I know I am. I like big butts and I cannot lie. Which was pretty funny. I thought that was hilarious. I just didn't think I didn't expect that, but that was pretty fun. I really like that dialogue. So yeah, that was actually my favorite joke on the book. So yeah, it's just pretty fun, and I like to see what happened with Spider-Gwen and the Venom symbiote now that she says she could control it, and we'll see what happens with the people knowing that who she is. That Spider-Woman is Gwen Stacy. I would like to see how that develops. And now I want to talk about the independent publishers. I want to talk about the other publishers as of right now. I have enjoyed The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead number 180. That was a really fun issue. It was interesting to see how the New World Order is organizing things, and it's cool to see Michonne with her daughter figuring this place out, and they setting her up to be a lawyer. It was pretty cool. The New World Order people finally get to meet up with Rick, and they talk about how they organize classes, and the leader wanted to talk to Rick on how Governor Pamela, that's her name, she wanted to see if Rick could agree with their hierarchy on their classes, like low class, middle class, and high class. She believes in that, and Rick doesn't. It was cool to see how that works out, and we haven't get to see the full extent of it. I guess there's more talk about that. They don't agree with it, and they don't agree with each other's thoughts on how the world should be. It was interesting to see that. We'll see what happens with these two characters and how they will interact in the future. It was a pretty fun issue. I really did like it. There's some great moments with Dwight too, with this new girl, this new love interest that he has, and we'll see how that develops. I'm really interested to see how this story grows. The next one I'm going to want to talk about is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 83. This was another good issue. I really did enjoy this one. It was the Ninja Turtles talking to the Mammoth. They had some great interactions. There was also some great action, how they was fighting him. And I did like that Michelangelo is the one that actually was a smart one, showing how to actually defeat the Mammoth. You wouldn't expect Michelangelo to be intelligent, and he can be. He does have his intelligent moments sometimes, and he's not a complete idiot, and I do like seeing that more. I was really excited to see that happen, for him to take charge and see what he can do to defeat this character. It was really fun seeing that. I did like the conflict with April and Baxter. That was pretty fun too. So yeah, I'm interested what this storyline would take. There was some cool moments with the purple dragons and the foot. It interesting. And overall, it was a pretty fun book. I really enjoyed it. I really did like it. And I'm hoping to see what would the Rat King and the Ninja Turtles will do in the next issue. The next issue I want to talk about is Kiss and the Army of Darkness, number 4. That was also a fun book. I did find it pretty enjoyable. I wasn't sure I wasn't gonna enjoy this series until now. The 4th issue was really where it picked up for me. It was pretty fun. I did enjoy it. There were some great action scenes with the Kiss fighting evil Ash and evil Sheila. It was pretty fun. I really did like this a lot. And I'm hoping to see what will be in the next issue now that the issues will be in the present time, and see where that develops there. It was pretty fun. I really did enjoy this. It was more of an action issue, but the dialogue was great. It was pretty funny, and I really did enjoy it. It was pretty cool. Okay, so now I'm going to be talking about the DC titles, which is a lot. I hope you can bear with me to go through this, but here it goes. Okay, first let me talk about The Flash number 47. This one was okay. There wasn't that much. I know there's been a lot of talk about this, but I'm kind of behind, so bear with me with that. I haven't read the other issues, but this has been pretty okay. I see the Rogues from the future. It was an okay issue. I didn't mind it too much, and it seemed like they were going after Wally West and Flash. It was interesting, and I did like that Iris took charge and she stopped them from fighting, and it was cool dialogue and interactions with these characters. It was a pretty fun book. I'm looking forward to what will happen in the next issue. Even though I've already heard about it, but it's whatever. I'll just let it go. The next issue I want to talk about is The Silencer number 5. I also had fun with this. I've been liking this series a lot. It's been pretty fun. It's my favorite series that's been going on from the Metal spin-offs. I've been liking this more than all the other ones. There's a few that I have been liking, but so far I'm liking Silencer a lot. And there's some great interaction with Deathstroke and the Silencer. That was also been pretty interesting, and we get to know more about them, like what their history is with these two characters, and it's pretty interesting to see how that goes. And it was also interesting to see more interactions with the Silencer and Tyler. That was also cool. I'll see how this goes. That was really unexpected that Deathstroke was in the background, as the Silencer and Tyler actually started talking. And it was interesting. I'm wondering to see how this goes. I'm really looking forward to the next issue. It's a really fun, interesting book. The next one I'm gonna be talking about is the Terrifics number 4. That was pretty fun. I really did enjoy that issue. And I think this series is picking up. I really did like the interactions with Plastic Man and Metamorpho. They're neck and neck with each other, and it was pretty funny to see them interact with each other. I really liked the bond that they have, even though it isn't that much of a bond. They're like arguing with each other, but it seems like that's how they get along with each other. It was pretty fun. They throw banter at each other. I liked the comedy a lot. And I did like the interactions with Mr. Terrific and Metamorpho. Metamorpho was really well written in this particular issue. And it was fun to see Plastic Man interact with Phantom Girl. Overall, the interactions we hear were very fun and exciting. And I did like it. I'm hoping to see how this continues to develop. I wonder what will happen when Phantom Girl goes. She apparently goes to her planet, and she's that everything has changed, and she was really apparently she was stuck in that place that she was in for quite a long time. It says 7. She's been there for 32 years. So yeah, it's interesting to see what would happen in the next issue. I would like to see what would happen there. Another issue I want to talk about is Wonder Woman number 47. And I want to talk about the annual. I've read the annual as well. Number 2. So yeah, Wonder Woman number 47. It was pretty interesting. I did enjoy it too. And we see Wonder Woman fight Supergirl, and that was pretty cool to see them fight. The fighting scenes were pretty cool, and it was cool. It was good how Wonder Woman was able to fight Supergirl off, and I did like that. You get to see that Wonder Woman finds out about the Dark Gods, and it goes into the next issue, the annual. And that was also a good issue. I did enjoy that too. It was with the Star Sapphires, and it was pretty cool to see Wonder Woman fight the Dark God of Love in the Dark God of Love in this annual issue. It was pretty fun. I did enjoy it. This show how Wonder Woman actually showed the power of love, and how I did like that they did keep the history that happened in Black Knights, so they wove that into the new continuity, and I did like how they pulled that off. But this is a really good issue. The artistic direction in this was really well done too. It was pretty fun. I really did like this a lot. I really did enjoy these 2 particular issues. And I'm hoping to see what will happen more with Wonder Woman and the Dark Gods that she's fighting right now. Another one I want to talk about is Aquaman and Jabberjaw, number 1 special. Yes, this is a special issue. It was pretty fun. I did like it a lot. It was pretty cool how they fit the Jabberjaw characters and Jabberjaw himself into the DC universe. It was pretty cool. It was like a far future kind of thing. That was fun. I was really having fun with this. It was very funny too, and it was cool seeing Jabberjaw doing his yeah kind of thing that he always does. It was funny. I did enjoy this. It was also not just all funny in here. There was also some serious stuff. It was cool how they mentioned C-Lab into this and how they do it in here. And Jabberjaw. I mean, it was cool to see Aquaman as a celebrity. Like he was just a cartoon show in the far future. So it was interesting to see how things are in here. It was a pretty fun book. I really did enjoy it a lot. So yeah, the next one I want to talk about is Bane Conquest number 11. That's also kind of fun. It seems so. The next issue will be the final one. I'm looking forward to that. But here was a really cool moment with Bane working with his team to go against Cobra, and it was interesting to see how they tricked Cobra into. Yeah, how they tricked them, and we also get to find out there's a traitor in Bane's team, and it was someone we didn't expect. Even Bane got the wrong person, and he ends up killing the wrong person instead. Well, he ends up breaking his back. He got the wrong person instead. It wasn't Faraday, it was somebody else. So it's interesting to see that Bane even got fooled into this. But we'll see what happens in the next issue. It was a exciting issue. I did enjoy it. The next issue I'm going to talk about is the Batman Prelude to the Wedding. It's with Robin, Damian, Wayne. He was versus Ra's al Ghul. This one was pretty fun. I did enjoy it a lot. And it was pretty interesting to see. It was like a vision though. The character wasn't really there. It It was like a Catwoman. Damian was fighting Catwoman and Batman's son. It was interesting. His name was Ion, and too bad it was just an illusion. It wasn't an actual character, but I did like the design a lot. And the design was really well done. It was just an actual character. It could have been a cool idea. Just like maybe Tyler would found or Ra's al Ghul found a way to steal the DNA of Catwoman and Batman and just merge it together and make a new character. That would have been really cool, and I would like to see that. But it wasn't that. It was just an illusion. So it was pretty cool to see Damian interact with Ra's al Ghul, and he wanted to remind them of who he actually is and what Batman made him the person that he is today. So it was pretty cool to see that, and I did like Catwoman interact with Damian. It was pretty fun. I did like their interaction, them getting along. So overall, it was pretty fun. I really did like this. So yeah. So the next issue I want to be talking about is, I did really enjoy Black Lightning Hong Kong Phooey special #1. That's also pretty fun. I really did like this. It was interesting how they embedded Hong Kong Phooey into the DC universe. It was pretty interesting. It wasn't like the New 52 continuity, but it was a DC continuity, so it was interesting how they fit it in there. It was cool to see Black Lightning interact with Hong Kong Phooey. I really did enjoy this. This was a really very fun issue. I really did like how they woven the characters into there, and they had some cool backstory. It was very fun. I really did enjoy this. It felt like Iron Fist, so it was pretty fun to see that. I really did enjoy this issue. It was cool. There's a lot of lore and a bunch of backstory that I wouldn't expected to see in this book. That's why I really enjoy these Hanna-Barbera crossovers with the DC universe. It's just cool concept how they put these Hanna-Barbera characters into the DC universe. They do such a good job with it, and it doesn't make it off-putting. It's a great crossovers. I really did enjoy this one, and I did enjoy even the next one. I did enjoy Flash and Speed Buggy too. That one was really fun. That one was with, apparently it had Savitar, and it had some other like reverse Speed Buggy, and it was pretty cool seeing that. I did like this a lot. It was a pretty fun issue seeing Wally West interact with the Speed Buggy character, and I thought it was cool that it was just a character that Wally West knew, that he knew in the past, and it was pretty cool how they fit it into the DC universe. This one was actually in the New 52 universe, or you could say Rebirth, whatever you want to call it. But it was pretty fun. I did enjoy this a lot. I'm hoping to actually see more of these characters. I would like to see that. I would like to see the Hanna-Barbera characters to be in the DCverse besides being in these specials. It was fun. It was cool to see Savitar finally in this this new continuity. I was not expecting to see Savitar. It's interesting to see him in here. But overall, this was a pretty fun book. I really enjoyed it. So Flash's Speed Buggy special #1 was also pretty fun. Now I want to talk about the other Hanna-Barbera special, which was Super Sons and Dynomutt special #1. This one was okay. I mean, I had fun with it, but I didn't have it as much fun as the others. This one had a good origin story of how Blue Falcon and Dynomutt came to be. That was really interesting. I just liked it a lot, and I like how Blue Falcon and Dynomutt was part of the Batman Incorporated. It was pretty fun. I did enjoy that. It's just that I didn't like that I didn't like how Blue Falcon and Dynomutt was they ended up killing off Blue Falcon, and he comes back alive at the end so quickly. I just didn't understand that. Like, what is the point of killing a character off and then bringing them back alive and just all in one issue? It's just too compact in, and I didn't like that. So it just kept the characters alive and didn't have to do this whole sadness moment of killing these characters off and bringing them back alive by the issue's end. But so yeah, it was kind of didn't make much sense of it, but there was some great interactions with Superboy and Damian. It was overall fun. I did like it was fun, but it wasn't as fun as the other ones. So yeah, it was kind of disappointing to see the characters fight and die and then come back in all in one issue. But it was still fun. I did enjoy it a lot. So next up is gonna be Doomsday Clock number 5. This was also kind of fun. I did enjoy it. It wasn't much that did happen in this issue, but it was interesting. I did enjoy it. There was some more interactions. You get to see what happens with the Superman theory, and you get to see what Firestorm, Killer Frost. It was a different Killer Frost. It wasn't Caitlyn, which is also pretty interesting. I wasn't expecting that, but overall, this was pretty good. I did enjoy it. So we got to see Superman and Lois Lane. I was not expecting to see more of that, and there's a lot to be discovered in here. It was more about the superheroes looking for other places to live now that everyone is finding out about them, because there's been some theory about the government created these characters, these people with superpowers, and it's just interesting to see how that develops. And I'm wondering how this will go now that they have bumped into Joker, and we'll see what Joker does with these characters, the two main characters that's in here now. So I'll see how this develops. It's cool. I really like what's going on in Doomsday Clock. It's been turning out to be a pretty good series. Next up is Green Arrow Annual number 2. This takes place this is a tie-in to No Justice. This is also really fun. It takes place before No Justice, and then at the end it takes place during and after. It fast forwards it at the end, but it's interesting to see how this issue connects to where Green Arrow takes place in this storyline. And I think I really am looking forward to Green Arrow now that when Julie and Sean Benson take over, because they plan to take over pretty soon. They haven't taken over yet, but I'm really looking forward to it, because I really did like how they wrote Green Arrow. It's really well done. They really put him in character, and they did put his flaws as a liar, how he usually lies to people like in the TV series, and he's not really good at it, and you get to see how he's used to that, and you get to see the flaw in the character in here, and you see how he actually is loving, caring, but his biggest flaw is lying to people, and he does what it takes to do that. But it was pretty well done. I did enjoy it. They did show him caring about Black Canary and how much he loves her. That was really cool, and I really did like the interaction with him and Batgirl. That was really fun. That was not something I was expecting to see, but it was still fun, and it was cool how they wove in this into the No Justice storyline. So yeah, the next issue I'm gonna be talking about is Justice League No Justice number 4. I didn't enjoy this too much. It was okay. It didn't conclude that well because they mostly rushed it, but it was still kind of okay. It was kind of good, I guess I can say. I did like the interactions, but they didn't do much with the storyline. I was kind of disappointed about that. I didn't like that they rushed this because I wanted to see more of these assemble of characters work together, interact, and you would not expect to see these people who were villains and now they act like hero-like characters. Like you wouldn't have seen Sinestro or Harley Quinn and work with these characters, or not even Lobo or Deathstroke and Lex Luthor. That would have been more interesting to see more interactions, more working together, fighting. It's just that you didn't get enough out of these 4 issues. They really did rush it, and I would like to see how this develops. I know they come with new teams, and I did read the first issue of Justice League as well, Justice League number 1. I did enjoy that. That was pretty interesting as well. I think Scott Snyder he has the potential to do a good job. I'm just not so sure about it as of yet. So I'm kind of okay with this particular issue. It was kind of rushed, but they did with the best that they can. I think the art looks great. I did like Francis Menopause's art in No Justice. I also have been liking George Jimenez art as no, it's not George Jimenez. In the first issue of Justice League, it was okay. It was interesting to see how it develops the team. It was interesting to see Martian Manhunter interact with the team, how he organizes the team, and I'm liking how to see this new team work together. I want to see more of it. It's pretty cool, and I want to see how the storyline continues to develop. It's interesting to see how Lex Luthor talks with Bands of Savage, see what their plan is. But so far it's been okay. I don't know how this is gonna be, but it is interesting to see how the Justice League work together and see how it unfolds. But overall, it's still a fun book. I think these 2 books were okay. Okay, the artist was Jim Chang, his art was okay. It wasn't that bad. I did like it. I did really much enjoy it. Okay, so the next book is to be Raven, Daughter of Darkness, number 5. This is pretty fun. I did enjoy this issue too. It was pretty interesting to see Raven find out about this project. This project that's been going on with. Apparently, you find out that Trigon and this agency has been making more kids with their powers. It's been making special kids, and they haven't been that successful as Raven. They said that Raven was the only one that's successful, and that's why they're experimenting, doing testing with Raven and her mother, and see why it was so successful. So it's interesting to see that. And then there was this court case with one of Raven's friends who are her guardian had recently, I think her mother had recently died and there's no one to take care of her. But it seems like the teacher and the people want to take care of her, but she has to live with her grandmother. Yeah, she has to live with a relative that lives in another state. It's a cousin apparently, but we have to see the court case, how it goes with that. And it's kind of sad, but I really did enjoy this issue, and it's interesting to see these different beings that's helping Raven fight Trigon. and we see what that actually develops to in the next issue. So I'm really looking forward to it. I really have fun. And the next one is gonna be Man of Steel number 1 and 2. I read the first 2 issues. This is gonna be the last issue. This is gonna be the last book I'm gonna be talking about. I really had fun with those 2. I think Bendis is finally getting back to his groove. I think his writing is developing back to normal. I think he's doing a very well done job with Superman. He really gets into the character. I really like that he's using Superman's actual flaw, which is anger issues, and he really does show it in the second issue. And I really like that because Dan Jurgens and Peter Tomasi, Patrick Gleason, they did do good Superman, but it was putting in like the perfect and like the goody two shoes kind of Superman. Like nothing is wrong with him, and it's just flaws. I mean, there's no flaws. And in here, Bendis actually gives him the flaw, and I really enjoy that kind of flaw about him having a little bit of anger issues, and he's stressed out. There's something that's stressing him out, and we don't know what it is. It's something to do with. It probably has something to do with Lois Lane and Jonathan Kent. So we'll see. I'll see what happens in the next issue. I haven't read it yet, but I did enjoy these first 2 issues. It's an interesting backstory with this new villain that they have in here, and it was pretty cool to see, Clark Kent in his office and interacting with the Daily Bugle characters, like Perry White. But it was pretty fun. I really did like this issue, and I think Bendis is gonna write a really well Superman. I was not really expecting it, but I think he has the potential to write a good Superman series. And this was really fun. I did enjoy it. I was not expecting it. So I think people should look into it and have fun with it. So overall, these issues were pretty fun. So yeah, that's all the books I've read so far. And I noticed I did talk about some books that came out in the weeks after, because I noticed I did read the continuation as I was talking about this. So I decided to talk about them anyway, so I hope you were okay with that. Overall, I hope you guys did enjoy this podcast. And hopefully, I'm still looking for a co-host. And we'll see how this goes. I kind of had mixed feelings about the last podcast, so I'm not so sure if you'll ever see his next co-host again. But that'll be okay. I guess I'll be okay with just me by myself from now on. We'll see how this goes in the future. And I'm still looking for a co-host, so if anybody is still interested to join this podcast, just email me at ultimateawesomeness520@gmail.com. Just email me there and I'll give you a Discord link and we'll discuss this potential podcast thing that's been going on. So I hope you guys really enjoy this and have fun with this podcast. Next podcast, I'm going to be talking about Incredibles 2. And then the podcast after that, I'm going to be talking about Luke Cage. So look forward to those 2 podcasts coming up. And hopefully I'll catch up to comic books in the next 2 weeks or so, because I'm going to be in vacation time. So I'm definitely going to have more of a opportunity here, and it's going to be kind of fun. So yeah, I'm going to have time to actually catch up this time. So I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. So I'll talk to you guys and see you then. All right, later.